I'm testing the MAC Studio Radiance Serum Powered Foundation today for over 50 skin. You know, I think that when foundation works on older skin, it's probably going to work on younger skin really well, unless you have super oily skin. But if you have more of a normal or combination skin and you're much younger than I am, then something that works on older skin is probably going to work for you. Hi, I'm GloryB, and this is GloryB-TV, a lifestyle channel for mature women who want to look fabulous, feel amazing, and age gracefully. Let's check out this particular liquid foundation. And it's not new on the market, but it's newer. One thing that I really like is that it isn't a pump. And let me see if I can show you this. See this little pump thing? So it does lock in place. So right now I have it locked and I can't pump it. And then I'm going to turn it. And now you see that I've turned it, and you can see, let's see here, that now it has that space in here where I can pump it. So if you travel, this is a really nice thing. Of course, if you don't want it to shift in your travel bag, once you put it in the lock position, you could put some tape around the edge and the top of the glass and keep it set. Now, one thing about all of these MACs in this whole line, I personally think that the colors run orange or yellow. I didn't think that there were any true cool tones. So I highly recommend going to the store, whatever store sells these. Ulta, some department stores like Nordstrom have a MAC counter, and of course at a MAC store, and test them. So the first time I tested these was at Ulta, and I had a salesperson, or one of the makeup artists, help me, and she picked a different one. We weren't exactly in front of a window. We were close to a window. But I thought, I still think that was a little too orange. So I went back to the store and picked this one. And then I ended up ordering it online and got both of them. And then I returned the one that she picked for me. This one, I think I'm going to say what it, NC-17. I still think it's a little orangey on me. But it's orangey for my face. It's not, now that it's not too orangey compared to my neck. So we're going to show you how this applies. And I'm not going to do my full face of makeup on camera. I'm just going to do the foundation and then how I set it. And then everything else is off camera. And then we're going to test it throughout the day and we'll see how it looks. Okay, here we are. If you hear other little noises, I did let the puppy in the filming room today. Usually I put her in the crate, but I let her in. All right, so I've already done all of my skincare. And I just want to point out that this is the sunscreen I use, the Paula's Choice Skin Recovery. This one, I have several favorites, but this is one of my favorites that works really well under foundation. I don't get that pilling effect from something that's in the sunscreen, which sometimes happens. And I am going to show you what I'm doing before foundation and some of the setting, and then I'll do the rest of my makeup off camera. So I'm going to go in with my under eye coverage with the Dermatology, the Luminous Eye Corrector in the medium. I'm still having some redness in this eye that we're treating on the lid, so I'll put some on the lid. And this is purposely an orangey color. So I've been using this ever since I had the eye thing instead of my Pixie under eye corrector, which I've shown in a lot of videos, which helps to correct my under eye tear trough. And it also helps to correct bluish purple dark circles. And this one I just apply with my finger. Now I'm ready for the MAC Studio Radiance. This one in NC-17. I'm just going to do one pump, and let's see if I can get away with one pump. I think I can. And I'm just going to dot it on. And at first I'm going to smear it around my face. I like to get it as close to my eyebrow as possible and tap it on that under eye. And then I'm going to use a damp beauty blender sponge, and I'm going to use a brush. So I have my damp beauty blender sponge here. I also have a 10x mirror so that I can really see what I'm doing. If you're not as old as I am, you might not need the 10x mirror. I'm 65. Almost 60. Well, I'm 64. I will be 65 by the time some of you see this. So I'll take a look at how this looks. I like to get it really blended. And then I'm going to take, this is an e.l.f. brush. I call it a stipple brush because it's flat. I like to buff it out. Now, right off the bat, one of the things I like to assess my foundations on is how they really look close up, especially where I have larger pores, which for me is around the nose and to the left and right of the nose, and even right under the eye. So I'm looking for, some foundations will give a polka dotted look with the larger pores, even when I use a primer, which you notice I didn't do today. I want to see how this looks without a primer. But I don't like that polka dotted look. And the other thing it might do, it might have cakey areas that just look like foundation that's, applied with cake. That's how it looks. And some foundations will do that to me in this area, but this is really nice. Now, sometimes when I'm looking at the pores, they're not quite covered. So what I'll do with a foundation, just to be fair to that foundation, is take the brush and just buff it out a little bit more. And that will help it to look the best it's going to look. So this one looks fantastic. Now, what I'm also going to show you right here is I am going to do an under eye concealer to help brighten that area. I brought my contour, I brought another highlighter, and I meant to bring powder, and I forgot. For the under eye concealer, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape. I usually buy the creamy. For some reason, I didn't with this one. The thing I like about the Tarte is it goes on nicely, but also just the colors that they have available. They have a lot of light colors available, and I'll list the color below in the description box in first comment. I'm just putting on a little bit, and I love, love, love this BK Beauty brush that's meant for concealer, because before I was only using a sponge, and the sponge picked up a lot of the product, and this thing doesn't. So I can use less product and it lasts longer. I'm just going to tap that in. And then I'm going to go back to the Beauty Blender and just use the end of it to blend out the edges of that. And before I set this, I'm going to do a little bit of contour with an Anastasia Beverly Hills contour stick in the color Mink. So I have tweaked how I'm doing this with another flat brush. I don't even know that they sell this brush anymore. But after I do my jowl lines and blend them out, I'm going to use what's left over on the brush to do a little bit of contour under my cheekbones. Then I'm going to use a highlighter that I haven't found a replacement for yet. My Emlin. It's a nice thick pan, and I like to highlight on the sides of my nose. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to use another flat brush to blend that out. Now I'm ready to set the under eye and also that other highlighter I just did. I've shown this trick a few times. Usually I'll use a powder that's a flat powder, like NYX has one. When I run out of this loose powder from Bare Minerals, I'll probably go back to buying that one. And what I'm going to do is spray the back of my hand with setting spray. One spray. Dip my finger in and then tap a little bit of that spray in this under eye area, and where I also put the highlighter. And I'll just keep tapping it until it's almost dry, but not quite dry. Then I'm going to go in with this loose powder. I don't really love loose powder because you can put on too much. And a small brush, and I'm just tapping it in that area. And then one other thing I'm going to do, and again, I prefer this with that NYX translucent powder, but I'm out. I'm going to use a big fluffy brush, and I do use powder blush. So I'm going to put a little bit of that powder on my cheeks. And because I'm filming, I'm going to put some on my nose and my chin. Now, off camera, I'm going to do my blush, my brows, and my eyes, and I'll be right back. And here I am with a full face of makeup. Now, it's about 9:20. I have errands to do today. I have a call, but I want to go work out at the gym. I'm doing weights and things. I'm not doing aerobic, but it's an extra warm day. I'm filming this in October 2024, and we're having a warm day. It's going to be around 80, 82, and the gym I work out at is the hottest gym I've ever worked out at. I now am the only person in the gym wearing a neck fan, and this thing has been a game changer for me. I bought one on Amazon that it doesn't just have fan at the ends, but it has fan all the way around. So I highly recommend it. And it doesn't get in the way of anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my Urban Decay spray, and I'm going setting spray. I normally just use this in the summer on a warm day. So here we go. Woo! And so that might help it set. But we'll be checking this close up with the camera. I might be using my phone sometimes. I have an iPhone 15, and I don't like how I look close up with just the way that camera works on the phone, but I'll do it anyway. I think it makes my nose look big. So let's get to, I'll probably show it, maybe I'll show it before I work out and after I work out, and then later in the day, and we'll see how this foundation stands up. All right, it's about 2:15. I haven't gone to the gym yet. My puppy would not stop barking, and it's the only way I pick her up. All right, so here we are in front of a window. So I can either look at the camera or I can look at myself. So we can see up close, it looks pretty good. You know, it is kind of a luminous, but not super glowy foundation. So that's why I put some powder on my nose earlier so that it didn't get too shiny. But let's see what it looks like after I work out. It's almost 4 o'clock. I just left the gym. It was so darn hot in there. That neck fan is the best thing I ever bought. So I brought my 10X mirror with me because it's the only way I can really see my skin up front or up close. So, you know, it looks okay. It's not really cakey. Maybe a little bit right in here. But that could be the concealer. And other than that, it's pretty good. At our gym, we don't have a towel service, which is weird. Apparently, people were taking towels home. So I'd bring my own towel. So I did dab at my forehead in particular with the towel when it got hot. And so that took some foundation away, just a little bit, but it doesn't look bad. And just looking at my skin this close in the afternoon, usually I'm looking at my skin this close in the morning when I put on my makeup and I have a 10x mirror to do my eyes. My skin's just looking old. 65-ish. But the foundation looks pretty good compared to some others that I kind of gave the thumbs down to. So let's check later and I'm not going to touch it up or anything. Let's take it. Let's check later when I'm at home and I've cooled down, just to see it close up again. It's getting close to 7 o'clock. I get up really early, so this is starting to feel late to me. So looking with my 10x mirror now and considering that I did a workout and got hot and sweaty, it looks pretty good. Now, I would call this foundation a medium coverage. I would not call it full coverage. And these days I'm comparing all foundations to my Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation, which lasts a long time and looks great all day. So this one is pretty good. I like that it doesn't get cakey, and I like that it doesn't create that polka dot look in my pores. So if you like something that's not quite full coverage, more of a medium, this might work really well for you. Like I said, it's orangey. Check below in the description box and in the first comment. I'll link to this so you can see the colors that it comes in. I'll also post all the other makeup I'm wearing. I say it's a winner for women over 50, women over 60. Hey, women over 70, and sorry about the dog barking. I'm not sure if you can hear that. The puppy's beside herself. Check out one of my other videos. So I'm going to put a couple other foundation videos on the right side of your screen if you're interested in some other foundations that I found. I'm going to put ones there that I know worked really well for me. If you try this foundation, please write a comment below as well and tell me how it worked for you.